Let's welcome Kaitlyn, please.
So 4-H experiences, like Pat said, this past week I was at the Ohio State Fair and I showed market lambs and I accomplished one of my goals that I've had for a couple years. I exhibited the Reserve Champion market lamb, and so going through the Sale of Champions was a really neat experience for me. But like Pat said, my name is Kaitlyn Zeedyk. I'm the daughter of Mike and Michelle. I have 3 younger brothers and I live on the Grand and Sheep farm outside of Hicksville. I attend Fairview High School and I'm going to be a senior. I play basketball and I ran track for the first time this past year. I'm currently the secretary of the National Honor Society. I'm president of my youth group at church, and I'm actively involved in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. I am also a member of Student Council and a 10-year member of the 4-H Club Hicksville Herdsmen, and I am also the president of my F.F.A chapter. So I'm going to ask you guys some questions, so if you guys could participate, that would make it easier. But can you take a guess on how many F.F.A members there are in the state of Ohio?
Yeah, give us choices.
Yeah.
This is just broad. Does anybody have a guess?
10,000.
Not quite. There's almost 24,000 members in Ohio alone. So how many chapters do you think there are then?
250.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty cool.
You're close. There's actually 315 that take on these 24,000 members. So with a raise of hands, how many of you know what F.F.A is? Just what it is, I guess. So how many of you have been a part of F.F.A, like a member in it? So F.F.A has been a big part of my life, not only in the classroom, but in my everyday activities. And on Saturday this week, I will be getting crowned as the Defiance County Junior Fair Queen. And it's not through 4-H, but it's through F.F.A. There's a misconception around the queen that she's from 4-H, when she can be from 4-H, F.F.A, or Girl Scouts. And F.F.A isn't just for the ag kids. Even though it's like a second home to most of us, it can also be used as a filler class. So we get stragglers who you'd never think would be in ag class, but they need to be there because they need a period filled. But at the end of the year, they too are the ones that come back because it's not just about farming. So F.F.A used to stand for Future Farmers of America, not future public speakers or livestock judges or floral designers, but farmers. I said used to because now it doesn't stand for anything. The truth is, though, that it creates all of those things that I just said. There are competitions of public speaking, job interview, general livestock judging, floral judging, and so on. We create a whole new path in a person. Life is all about competition, working and preparing for jobs, and now these competitions will teach us valuable life skills that will help us later on in life. I wanted nothing to do with job interview and public speaking contests when I was younger, but here I am in front of all of you speaking about my passion in the ag industry. I also made it to state twice with creed speaking and beginning prepared speaking. And as for job interview contests, my goal this year is to go to state and compete pretty hard. And it's not just for the farm kids, it's a home to everyone. And when I say home, I literally mean home. Any free period or chance I get, you can find me there or anyone else in the ag room. Whether it's working on our next event, a competition, or just working on homework, there's always something to do. For example, this past year, me and a couple of my fellow officer members helped our incoming freshmen with their SAE projects on a website we call AET. It's where we keep our journals and records. So one of our main topics in our chapter is our competitions. There's so many different judgings and contests to compete in F.F.A. For example, there's urban and rural soil judging, dairy cattle and dairy foods judging, floriculture, troubleshooting, public speaking and job interview contests, general livestock judging, meats and equine, and much, much more. This past year, we were able to have more members compete in these contests because they were online. They didn't have to leave the building because of their grades weren't an issue, and neither was missing a full day of school. More students had an opportunity to participate, which was a great thing for those who don't get to do as many. These contests and competitions can lead to many valuable life skills. I wouldn't be up here speaking in front of all of you if it wasn't for my FFA teacher pushing me to do the public speaking contest. Our students that participate in job interview are more prepared for one later in life because they know what to expect and how to write a resume. Our agronomy competitors can learn more about the weeds that they need to take them farther into the field that they want to go in. Ag mechanics competition can better prepare our shop students for Ford County or a job right out of high school working on different things. Contests are one of our biggest things that our members look forward to in the school year to do in our chapter because there's a contest for everyone. Our chapter also focused greatly on the events that we put on. For example, you might have had some of our chapter members come knocking on our doors asking you to buy fruit for our annual fruit sale. We create competitions and incentives to persuade our members to sell more fruit to raise money for our chapter. We also provide ourselves in our yearly pancake breakfast and end-of-the-year banquet. This year, our members are trying to find a way to give back to the community in a way of serving them. We would like to work harder on our community services this year and create new ideas for ways our members to have SAE projects. And you may be wondering what SAE stands for since I keep saying it, but it stands for Supervised Agricultural Experience. These are designed to help our members gain specific skills in areas that they are interested in. Many of these help them reach career goals they have set for themselves. Each of our members has an SAE project and creates journals and takes pictures of it for awards. Members can compete at the local, state, and national levels in their proficiency areas to win awards. There are 47 different proficiency award areas that can be won. This goes to show how broad FFA is because it's not just about corn and soybeans, but everything in between. My proficiency is Zeedyk Farms. It contains my market lambs, breeding ewes, and dairy beef feeder calves, along with working on the farm. But other members have job placement at ice cream shops, working for local farmers, and trimming trees, raising crops and animals, or working on their own equipment. Many of our members have used these skills to get jobs after high school, and some of them have been recognized at the national level for their hard work. And think about it, most of them are making money too, so it's a win-win. Now about my jacket. This is the signature corduroy blue jacket that all FFA members wear. It has a state at the top and your name of the chapter on the bottom with the FFA logo in the middle of the back. So for bonus points, who can tell me where the FFA jackets are made?
On the farm.
No, they're actually made right close to home here in Van Wert, Ohio. Today, more than 80,000 jackets are sold annually to FFA members. When members begin their time in FFA, they learn that only 3 pins are allowed on the front of their jacket: highest degree, highest office, and highest award. If we wore all the pins on the front of our jacket, we would look like Boy Scouts. So for those of us who are active, what do you do with your pins? So the goal is to have a jacket that weighs more of you by the time you graduate. But for me, I only have 2 pins on the front of mine: my president pin and my general livestock judging state pin. My highest degree is here, hanging by my side. But having your state degree at your side gives every FFA member pride in their organization, just waiting on the gold key of the American degree. As schools are making cuts to their budgets and classes, I encourage each of you to stand by and support FFA in the ag classrooms because there is so much more than working in a shop or learning about farming. It teaches the students valuable life skills and encourages them to create goals and follow them. So my last piece of advice to you guys is that the next time you see these blue corduroy jackets, don't assume that they are farmers. They could own your next flower shop or become the next president. FFA isn't just for farmers, but for everyone. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask and I'll answer them as best as I can.
So if I understood you right, is that the name of your course of study at school's FFA?
There's 4 different classrooms. So we have for freshmen AFNR, which is Ag, Food, and Natural Resources. And then there is agronomic systems for juniors, and then there's a business class for seniors, and animal science is for the sophomores.
So do all the schools that have FFA chapters then also have FFA courses?
Yes, you can just be in the ag course. You don't have to be a member of FFA, but if you do, you have to pay your dues, and then you're in FFA.
Is your chapter growing, or do you have to recruit a lot of the younger kids coming through into the program? Or?
We have about 20 students come in every year as a freshman, and it's continuously growing. Like for me, I wouldn't have thought that some of the incoming freshmen or some of them that are in our chapter now, I never thought I would have seen them in our classroom because they just didn't seem like the kid you would see in an ag classroom. But it's not just for ag kids. I mean, when you go to a convention, you see all different kinds of people there, and it just amazes you who all can be in ag.
What are your plans for after high school?
Well, I want to attend college, but for what, I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to figure that part out.
Yeah, I got interrupted there, so now I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, do you do anything like 7th and 8th graders or 6th graders?
Yeah, for our 8th graders, there is just like a pre-ag class. It's just one of those extra classes that they can take if they don't take chorus or band. They can come in, and it's for one semester, so 2 quarters, and they just do random stuff and learn about FFA, and it's kind of like a pre-thing before you go into high school.
So you get graded then also?
Yeah.
Like ABC?
Yep.
You guys, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Do we have any people who have been president that have been FFA members?
Here.
No,
Or-
United States wide.
Yeah.
Any setting precedents for,
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not sure.
Okay.
There might be. I'm not sure. I didn't look into. Yeah.
Do you guys still have a green hand camp?
We don't have a green hand camp. For us, we do a green hand ceremony, a chapter and green hand degree ceremony. And so for that, we have been in the past doing a chili supper for that, and then celebrating our green hand and chapter degree award recipients for that, and have everybody come in and their parents and everything. But no, we don't have a camp.
And where's Nationals going to be this year?
That'll still be in Indianapolis, where it usually is. Yeah.
I didn't know if they changed it. It's been a long time since I was in FFA.
Yep. They keep it in Indianapolis now every
Well,
year.
maybe 2. Yeah.
Are they focusing more on electronics and computer science with what you guys are doing? Because sometimes Mike's lines are straighter than mine, and I need a little help with my
Better
auto
computer.
steer and a better computer, because I don't want to look bad.
Yeah, we don't focus too much on talking, like we'll talk about that stuff, but we don't I don't know of any, there might be some competitions out there that I just don't know about that might focus on that, but we do work on the internet a lot. I don't know if you guys, AET is our website that we put all of our SAE projects in and our journals in, and that is all online. When Dad was in FFA, it used to be all handwriting and in books. Some chapters are still doing that, and I've learned that it's a real pain, and so we should be thankful for the internet, but everything that we do is online, so we've learned how to navigate through that. Yeah.
You might have to ask your dad on this, but when the planes are testing the crop dusters, how do they tell what width they are? I thought they used to drop a white foam or something, but I thought they might use the internet. Or GPS.
All GPS, I guess.
GPS, so if they make a turn, they can rely on their GPS to guide them.
Yeah, they got a little, what they call like a light bar in front that they're looking at, and then it tells them if they need to go left or right. It's set on swaths. So like they do a 100-foot swath, so they make their turn and they know they was on past 22, and then their next pass is 23, 100 foot over, and then it just has little lights that tell you go left or right. So Yeah, like they used to drop toilet paper out when them planes would come up in a circle. They drop toilet paper out, and then hopefully it wasn't too windy to move it over. So it is much more active now than it used to be.
My question was, when did FFA start?
It started back in the 1900s. I don't know the exact date. I think it was like 1908 maybe. But it was in Frederickstown. This guy founded with the jackets, and they changed over time. But it was just a group of all boys. Women didn't start until I think it was 1969. I think somewhere around there. And that's when women joined FFA. So it's really changed over time. Did you have a question?
I was just thinking with new practices in agriculture, you know, with crop covers and no-till, then there's the big issues with runoff, erosion, all that kind of thing. As young possible future farmers and getting to stay in that area, are you guys, you know, talking about that now as younger and then moving into, you know, have more knowledge about it as you grow into becoming more active in agriculture?
Yeah, so when we're freshmen, we talk about urban soils, and that as freshmen, you have to go do that contest because that is one of the things that our teacher has to teach us, and so we learn about all that stuff. And urban soils is definitely a lot harder to learn than rural. So rural, the easier one, we learn as sophomores, and then you go and do that. But we learn how to ribbon the soil and get down into the pits and figure out if you can build a house there or whatever, and if you can farm there and everything else. And this past year, we were supposed to actually host it, but with COVID and everything, we weren't able to do that. But yeah, we do learn all of that as incoming FFA members. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you, Kaitlyn. I think it's apparent to all of us that you probably have a really bright future, so have fun this weekend.